need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
All right, let's move to my next question, which comes all the way from Dover, Delaware. Sophia is writing in and she says, Betsy, I will be getting married and buying a house. I am in the research stage. I will be updating the kitchen first. I love to cook, and my future husband is a chef. I do cooking, baking, canning, making cheese, making sausage. Any tips for adding things to a kitchen that will make it functional? I want to know the best brand of appliances to buy. I will be buying prefab cabinets from Lowe's. I don't have a budget for custom. I've been looking at cabinets. I always go back to and love white cabinets. I love traditional farmhouse English country style with a touch of French country. How do I incorporate color into the kitchen without making it that I have to redo it in a few years? Any tips? I have gone through so much furniture through the years. What is the best quality furniture? My favorite colors are blue and gray. Oh my gosh. Well, you are really getting into it, Sophia. First of all, congratulations on your next life phase. I am so excited for you. And I am so excited that your future husband is a chef. Back in my dating days, I dated several chefs. And I think the reason that I was so attracted to chefs is because I love to eat. I, at that time, did not love to cook. So my love of cooking, and I will say it has developed into a true passion, has only developed since I've had children and moved to the suburbs. Because even when I lived in Brooklyn, I was constantly ordering takeout. There were so many amazing options. There was so much affordable food. It was cheaper at that time when my kids weren't eating meals that we were eating. They were eating baby food, formula, milk, uh, even after they got a little bit past that. We moved when they were 3 and 5, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Even when they were getting a little bit past that, they were still in the nuggets, hot dogs. They were not into taquitos, or what did we have last night? Ooh, meatball agrodolce. I became an amazing chef by using box meal companies, one of which you've heard advertised on this podcast. But I currently still enjoy Green Chef, and I really love Marley Spoon. So those are sort of the ones that I alternate with, and I consider myself a fancy chef, even though I'm just following their steps and they send me all the ingredients. But they are so delicious, and the portions are usually so big that my kids will split one portion. My husband has one portion, I have one portion, and then I have some left over for lunch the next day. So it actually becomes really cost effective. I had meatballs agrodolce for lunch today, and I have some left over for lunch tomorrow. So I got a lot of bang for my buck. Anyway, that is all to say that I am no expert when it comes to kitchen planning. The other reason I am no expert when it comes to kitchen planning is because I don't do it for my own clients. I help them pick out the pretty stuff. So we pick out the backsplash, the hardware, the countertops, the cabinet color. But the person who should be kind of designing the interior of your cabinets should be the person who you're buying the cabinets from, whether it's IKEA or Lowe's or Home Depot. Depending on the line of cabinets you choose, there's going to be different options. Most of them have very intricate computer systems that only work for the line of cabinets that they're selling, but they'll allow you to customize it in so many ways. There are, of course, some tried and true rules for outlining a kitchen, which is like the triangle thing and all this stuff online, but I am no expert in any of that. I can speak to what I like personally, but I am not a chef and I don't do as much as you do. So you might find that you're not as drawn in by my comments as you might be by somebody's comments who does this every day. I would recommend leaning in hard and spending lots of time with that kitchen planner, even if these cabinets are prefab. They'll help you to determine exactly the right inserts, exactly the right functionality that you want for how you typically cook. Same goes for appliances. Because I don't manage renovations for anyone, I never pick their appliances. I myself have purchased appliances a couple of times. I will say that I loved my KitchenAid dishwasher. Right now, I have a Miele dishwasher, which is supposed to be like top of the line, amazing. Everybody wants it. Not me. The Miele is not rocking my world. It does a pretty good job with washing and drying, but the problem is that the inserts or whatever you call it, the different components, the trays are not set up in an intuitive way that works well for the dishes that I have. And I have very standard dishes. So I just don't find it to be a great fit for us, but my KitchenAid dishwasher was amazing. I mourn the loss. It was perfect in so many ways. I called it, much to my husband's chagrin, my boyfriend. Don't nobody talk bad about my boyfriend, because he was like my partner in crime, this dishwasher. I would load it up and it would wash the dishes so quickly, so quietly. Oh my gosh. The Miele is quiet. I will give it that. But I can only get like half a load of what I could have piled in my KitchenAid. And I never had to rinse with my KitchenAid. And I am a throw and go gal in pretty much every aspect of my life. But certainly when I do dishes, I don't hand wash, I'm not going to scrape, and I'm not going to pre wash. Judge as you will, people, but that is who I am, and I am standing in my power. I had a little technical difficulty. The internet in the cottage is not working. Not working. What is going on? It's so hard to be productive when you're living out of boxes, when your Wi Fi does not work, when it is so cold. Serenity now. Anyway, Sophia, we left off with me letting you know that I have limited experience with appliances, really only my own. My clients rely on not only their budget, but also their kitchen designer to help guide them, because that's what the kitchen designer does every single day. You did also ask a question about furniture selection. You mentioned that you've bought lots of furniture in the past and need to know sort of where to go for what piece of furniture at what type of quality. And I will tell you unequivocally, 100% no company does everything well. Even the high-end companies, even the expensive companies excel at certain things and do not do a good job at other things, in my humble opinion. Now, this is an area where I have a lot of expertise, but not only do I think about what type of furniture I'm shopping for, I always think about the style, because different stores have different styles, and I try and match the quality and the style when I'm shopping with the right vendor. I need you to write me back, Sophia. I need you to let me know what style you've settled on, because you mentioned about 4 of them in your note. And I also need you to let me know what piece you're looking for. Betsy, I need a traditional sofa. Betsy, I'm looking for a transitional buffet. Betsy, I need an eclectic table lamp. I can direct you if you're looking for something specific, and I can really make it actionable. But when it's just so vague and broad, I would talk all day, and don't nobody got time for that. We've got baseball playoffs to go watch. We've got box meals to go make. We've got baxes to unpack. We've got to call Optimum and find out why the Wi-Fi is not working. We've got so much to do. So I will not keep you on the podcast too long. Instead, Sophia, write me back, ask me a really specific question. I'll give you a really specific, high value answer. A big thank you to Aton and the Embassy, who wrote our theme song. A shout out to Catherine Heller, who owns the podcast shop and is our editor extraordinaire. We also want to thank Ginny Sunasan and her team at the Savvy Podcast Agency for their help with our social, our YouTube channel, and so much more. We also want to thank Uploft, which is our parent company who supports this podcast. And lastly, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your support.